Hi, this is Sherry Cheever here, and I've had a couple of questions recently about the new bows I've been making. And honestly, it's nothing new. It's been around for a while. I've just kind of picked up on it, and I like the vintage look. What I've been using is this Shifts seam binding that I picked up at Amazon.com, and this happens to be chalk white. They had many different colors. It's also made in the United States. Get that. I'll be buying more of this. So I've cut off a small section of ribbon that I'm going to use. And I have my Broken China Distress ink and Mini Mister already full with water. I have some Vintage Photo Distress ink that I might use to give it an aged look. And I have my Ranger Heat It tool that we're going to need to dry the ribbon. So to start, I'm going to take my Broken China, and the way I do it, just really simply hold my seam binding down with my ink pad facing down and just pull my ribbon through it. Gives you a little extra on the your nonstick craft sheet as well. So I'm just going to give it a good coat, maybe flip it over and coat the other side. Doesn't take much, doesn't take long. And just as simple as that. So now that we have some ink on our seam binding, I'm going to use my Mini Mister filled with water and mist it all. Get it good and wet. You'll see I'm getting beads of color up on my craft sheet as well. So then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to pick up some of that color with my seam binding. So it's all scrunched up in a little ball, and I'm going to leave it like that and wipe my hands off with my towel, and with my heat tool just dry it. It really doesn't take long. I kind of keep scrunching as I go along. And you know that you can also do this technique by putting a dropper of any water-based re-inker in a baggie, clear baggie, and drop your ribbon in it and squish it around with your hands. It'll give you a much more vibrant color of ribbon, and then your hands won't be as messy either. We've been dyeing white ribbons for years. This is, like I said, nothing new. It's just something fun to do. I have yards and yards of white twill in here that I've been dyeing, as well as the seam binding. So we've got this scrunched up and it's drying fairly good. I'm going to wipe off my craft sheet. And as you can see, it's kind of wrinkly. It's not as brilliant as the actual Broken China, and that's okay. I like that it's splotchy. And then just if I want to age it just a tiny, I'm going to tap some Vintage Photo on my craft sheet, mist it with water, and then I'm going to scrunch up my ribbon and just pounce it in there a couple of times. Not much. Keep moving it around. And then kind of dry it some more. It's still wet. I can feel it on my hands. And when you're playing with this at home, you'll be able to take much longer than I am for the video to get it good and dry. And oh, I'm seeing some of the brown show through, like it's been weathered and wet, and some of that great old vintage ribbon that you find buried in your family treasures. So there, I can see you can see some of the aging on it. I hope you can tell on the video. I'll kind of hold it up closer. Let me see. Can you see the brown on it? So one email I had yesterday, they wanted to know how I tied my ribbon. If I used a bow maker or anything. I just wrap it around my hand. Go like this a couple of times. I might snap off the end piece, hold it, and then take this center piece, wrap it around, and tie a square knot. And then I have some ribbon to play with. I can still move it around, play with the ends to get them more raggedy and distressed looking. From here you can tie it onto another piece of ribbon on your card. You can tie on a button. You can do whatever you want. One other thing, instead of using Distresser, you could mix up your Distress inks in a mini mister and actually add in some Perfect Pearls, and that would give your ribbon a glimmery effect. So there's lots of possibilities with this, and lots of possibilities with different ribbons. And if you try it, let me know. I'd love to see what you're doing. And thanks for joining me today.